After the Hollywood actors and writers strikes of 2023, the business is crumbling. Many of the year's most exciting projects have been delayed, leaving a wasteland of midness. However, there have been a few gems this year amongst all the duds, and that is what I will be celebrating today. I will be ranking all 12 theatrically released movies I have seen this year. Just remember, these are my rankings, and if you don't agree, please don't attack me. Here we go. Number 12 is Madam Web. I just can't defend this movie anymore. My review of it is literally called Madam Web Isn't That Bad, but it is. It's a boring and generic movie that can barely be called a superhero film. It has horrible ADR and dialogue. It wasted great actresses like Sydney Sweeney, Celeste O'Connor, and Isabella Merced on this lackluster film with no energy. However, some of the line delivery is so bad it's camp, and you have to give it some points just for the memes. 4 out of 10. Number 11 is Bob Marley One Love. This was by no means a bad movie. It was heartfelt and had some great musical numbers. Kingsley Ben-Adir perfectly encapsulates the energy of Bob Marley, but the film just got a bit boring in some parts. 6 out of 10. Number 10 is Despicable Me 4. This was a fine kids movie that definitely had some fun moments, but compared to the other movies in this franchise, it isn't great. The villain was generic and too silly, and the Minions plot was so unfunny. Gru Jr. took up time from the actually likable characters. However, it was still a fun time at the movies, and it's got charm. 7 out of 10. Number 9 is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I really liked this movie and thought it was fun, but the plot was a bit confusing. They just had too many characters, so almost none of them were fleshed out, except McKenna Grace's Phoebe, who is absolutely excellent. The movie started off strong, but got very boring in the middle, but then picked up in the end. It was a solid film, but not as good as Afterlife. 7.5 out of 10. Number 8 is Mean Girls. This remake had lots of charm, humor, and talent. Renee Rapp was fierce and feral as Regina George, and Evanzika really shined, but Gary Rice really brings this film down with their lackluster and soulless performance and singing. The music definitely wasn't that bad, with some of my favorites being Sexy and Someone Gets Hurt, but the downgrade from the original versions of Stupid with Love and What Ifs really disappointed me as a big fan of the musical. It is still a timeless story that very smartly integrated social media. 7.5 out of 10. Number 7 is If. Kaylee Fleming is a real star here, very well assisted by Ryan Reynolds and John Krasinski, who are at the top of their games. This is a real tearjerker of a movie, which balanced out the very high energy and sometimes a bit too kiddie ifs. 8 out of 10. Number 6 is Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. This was a high-energy popcorn flick that was a very good time at the movies. They finally allowed the monsters to be ridiculous, which made them even cooler. There was also an emotional arc about family in there too, which was very heartfelt. There were just some issues with the convoluted lore, but overall it was pretty good. 8 out of 10. Starting off my top 5 is Immaculate. This film really sold me on Sydney Sweeney as both an actress and a producer. She is absolutely incredible when she's allowed to scream and cry, especially in the shocking and brutal ending. She definitely has a future as a scream queen. I thought this movie was a great commentary on religious fanatics and had the perfect amount of gore, though I did have to look away during the tongue scene. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time and would love to see Sydney do more horror. 8 out of 10. Number 4 is The Fall Guy. This movie was fun, romantic, and action-packed. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt really made us root for their couple, and the amazing stunt work and Hollywood commentary really proved that stunt work should be celebrated at the Oscars. 8.5 out of 10. Number 3 is A Quiet Place Day One. What a thrill ride. This is a very clever movie that leaves you on the edge of your seat. Lupita Nyong'o is very likable and has great chemistry with Joseph Quinn. The pair sell both their action sequences and emotional sequences, of which there is a lot. Having to stay silent in the theatre was an unforgettable experience, as is the very emotional ending. 9 out of 10. My runner-up film of the year so far is Inside Out 2. I think this film perfectly represented what it's like to be a teenager, especially with the emotional and realistic depiction of anxiety. The film is very smart in its use of metaphors, and Maya Hawke is an absolute delight. 9 out of 10. My number one film of the year so far is, of course, Dune Part 2. This is a sci-fi epic with terrific action sequences. It is a thrilling and unique experience that is both prestige and commercial. Austin Butler really commits to his psychotic role, as does Timothée Chalamet, who heartbreakingly portrays the switch from a hero's journey to a villain's journey. Zendaya is, as always, fantastic. This truly is a cinematic marvel that I only expect Deadpool and Wolverine to top later this July. 9 out of 10. That was my halfway through the year ranking of movies. What is your ranking? What is your most anticipated film in the next half of 2024? Let me know down below. Have a great day. Bye!